It's time to actually be real about this for a second. And let's talk about what it takes for Shedeur Sanders to take over in Cleveland and who's stopping him or crying about it. Follow me. You know, people, I'm going to talk to you as a Chiefs fan to a Cleveland fan. Since 1984, I've been a Kansas City fan, and I've had to deal with the 14 and 2s, 15 and 1s, 13 and 3s. Having iconic players like Joe Montana at the end of his career, Christian Okoye, Barry Words, Tony Gonzalez, Will Shields, Tamarick Vanover, Dante Hall, Jamal Charles, Priest Holmes, Neil Smith, Derek Thomas, rest in peace, Larry Johnson. Had all these players come through my system. We've always won in the regular season. Always. Get to the playoffs, something happens. Either Buddy Ryan's boxing Kevin Gilbride on the sideline, or Peyton Manning last second touchdown pass. Andrew Luck fumbling the ball at the one, picking it up and scoring a touchdown to win. Hell, Marcus Mariota throwing the ball to himself for a touchdown victory. Something always happens. We got this guy named Pat Mahomes. We didn't want him. We were mad we didn't get Mitch Trubisky or Deshaun Watson. Pat Mahomes was said to be a system player. Unorthodox throwing status. Pampered rich boy. Couldn't win the big one. Couldn't win a bowl game. Couldn't get to a bowl game. All that stuff. Inflated numbers, right? I'm not comparing Shedeur to Pat Mahomes. What I'm going to do is tell you a story. This is a story about Cleveland. Not the fans, the media. The media in Cleveland, these Cleveland Brown networks that popped up. Well, they didn't really pop up. They've been there, but no one really was checking for their ass since Jim Brown. Let's be honest. Since Jim Brown, have you really been relevant? We know in the 80s you got to a title game with Bernie Kosar at quarterback and Eric Biner fumbled the ball, and that was iconic. We know Baker Mayfield got you to the playoffs in the 2020 COVID stuff, and you beat your arch rival Pittsburgh Steelers. And then you let go of Baker, but that was iconic. That game was iconic. We get that. And we know Shedeur Sanders has never won a bowl game. We know he first year in the bowl game against South Carolina State, Buddy Pugh, let's be honest, took Deion to the woodshed. Honestly. We know the second year came back against North Carolina Central, and that game was an iconic game, great plays, offense was popping. Deion made some poor choices on defense, benching certain players, not letting them play. But the game was still iconic. We know what happened to BYU. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. But this is not going out to the Colorado channels, because you know how I feel about Colorado and the history I have with Colorado. Nothing against the Sanders family. It's the Colorado people itself, the administration I don't like. Not the Jackson State people. It's just the people you listen to from Cleveland. We know you didn't want him. You think Dylan Gabriel's better? I've heard you even say he'll never start, or if you give him credit, he won't start week 1. He's lucky to get in mid-season. Because you have Joe Flacco, who's apparently Dan Marino reincarnated. I heard people say they rather had a Deshaun Watson playing than have Shedeur Sanders. Kenny Pickett is a better hand. Dylan Gabriel's more athletic. But you should always give him credit because he's bringing in supporters, viewers to your channel. But the question I have, when he went to the high school and said he wants to bring a title, to Cleveland. Why did you get up in arms? I have the answer. You've given up on hope. You would rather be the Cleveland Browns that everybody knows than the Cleveland Browns you should be. Defense is good. Your offense is stacked except for quarterback. Heard you say he's Kirk Cousins 2.0. Kirk Cousins 2.0 is better than every quarterback on your damn roster. Honestly. Let's talk about that for a second. Shedeur Sanders, like you said, has not won a bowl game. He doesn't have to in Cleveland. If, like going by your own words, year one doesn't start until midway through the season. Let's say he wins 6 games the first year. Hell, I'll give you 5 games in year one. That was the whole thing for your season, 5.5 games. Say he wins 5 games. You can't automatically bench him on year 2. So let's say he starts year 2, has growth and gets to the playoffs. That made him iconic in Cleveland. Because you haven't been in the playoffs since Baker Mayfield, and unless you want to repeat the Baker Mayfield situation by cutting him again after 2 years, you wouldn't do it. You'll get fired before you left the building. Let's say by year 3, he gets Cleveland to the AFC title game or a Super Bowl. It's not iconic, my friend. That's legendary.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. Gods are gonna trouble the water. See that band?